Once upon a time, in a small village in Nigeria, there lived a man named Obinna and his wife, Kayamika. They had two beautiful daughters, Ada and Nneka. Obinna was a farmer, but the crops had been failing, and they struggled to make ends meet. Obinna loved his family dearly, but the thought of their poverty gnawed at him. One day, he met a mysterious old man at the market. The old man wore a long black robe and had a cane. He told Obinna that he could make him the richest man in the village. "All you have to do is make a small sacrifice," the old man said, his eyes twinkling. Obinna was desperate. He asked the old man what he needed to do. "Bring your firstborn daughter to the forest at midnight," the old man instructed. "Leave her at the big iroko tree, and all your problems will be solved." Obinna was horrified at the thought of sacrificing Ada, but the old man's words haunted him. The next day, as he watched Ada and Nneka playing, he felt a pang of guilt. But the idea of wealth was too tempting. That night, Obinna led Ada into the forest. She was curious but trusted her father. When they reached the iroko tree, Obinna told Ada to wait there and promised he would return soon. "Why, Papa?" Ada asked, her eyes wide with fear. "Just trust me, my dear," Obinna said, trying to hide his tears. He left her there and walked back home, his heart heavy with guilt. The next morning, he found a chest of gold at his doorstep. The villagers were amazed by his sudden wealth. Obinna built a grand house and bought new clothes for his family. But the guilt of leaving Ada in the forest never left him. Weeks passed, and Obinna noticed strange things happening. The crops grew faster than ever, but at night, he heard whispers and cries in the wind. One night, Kayamika woke up to find Ada standing at the foot of their bed. "Papa, why did you leave me?" Ada's voice was soft and sad. Obinna and Kayamika were terrified. Obinna tried to explain, but Ada vanished into thin air. From that day on, Obinna saw Ada everywhere, in the fields, by the river, and even in the house. She never spoke but watched him with sad eyes. Obinna's wealth brought him no joy. He couldn't sleep, eat, or find peace. One day, he decided to visit the old man in the market. He begged the old man to help him. "You must bring your second daughter, Nneka, to the iroko tree," the old man said. "Only then will Ada's spirit be at peace." Obinna was torn. He couldn't imagine sacrificing Nneka too. He went home and tried to forget the old man's words, but the haunting continued. Ada's ghostly figure appeared more often, and Obinna grew desperate. One night, Obinna took Nneka to the forest. He told her to wait by the iroko tree, promising he would return soon. "Why, Papa?" Nneka asked, her voice trembling. "Just trust me, my dear," Obinna said, his heart breaking. As he walked away, he heard Nneka calling out for him. He couldn't bear it anymore. He ran back, scooped her up, and rushed home. He knew he couldn't sacrifice Nneka. The old man's promise of wealth wasn't worth the price of his daughters' lives. When Obinna reached home, he found Kayamika crying. She had discovered what he had done. "How could you, Obinna?" she sobbed. "You brought a curse upon us." Obinna fell to his knees, begging for forgiveness. He confessed everything to the village elders. They were shocked and angry but decided to help. The village healer, Momankechi, performed a cleansing ritual to try and lift the curse. Obinna, Kayamika, and Nneka watched as Momankechi chanted and danced around the fire. She sprinkled herbs and poured libations, calling upon the spirits to release Ada's soul. Hours passed, and finally, Momankechi spoke. "Ada's spirit is free, but Obinna must atone for his actions," she said. He must give away all his wealth and serve the village for the rest of his life. Obinna agreed, feeling a weight lift off his shoulders. He gave away the gold and spent his days helping others, trying to make amends. But the story was not over. Eda's spirit still lingered, watching over her family. The villagers whispered about the sacrifices and the curse, and Obinna knew he had a long way to go to earn their trust again. Obinna worked tirelessly to serve the village. He helped build homes, repaired roads, and shared his farming knowledge with everyone. Slowly, the villagers began to forgive him, but Eda's spirit still lingered, watching silently. One evening, as Obinna was returning home from the fields, he heard a familiar voice whisper his name. He turned around and saw Eda standing at the edge of the forest. "Papa, why did you leave me?" she asked, her eyes filled with sorrow. Tears streamed down Obinna's face. "I'm so sorry, Eda. I was foolish and greedy. I would do anything to have you back." Eda's ghostly figure seemed to shimmer in the fading light. "There is a way, Papa. You must find the sacred stone hidden deep in the forest. It holds the power to bring me back." Obinna's heart filled with hope. "I'll find it, Eda. I promise." The next day, Obinna gathered supplies and set off into the forest. He knew the journey would be dangerous, but he was determined to bring Eda back. As he ventured deeper into the forest, the trees grew thicker, and the path became harder to follow. Strange sounds echoed around him, and shadows danced in the corners of his vision. After days of searching, Obinna stumbled upon an old, crumbling shrine covered in moss. In the center of the shrine, a large, glowing stone lay embedded in the ground. Obinna approached the stone cautiously and touched it. A warm, soothing light enveloped him, and he felt a surge of energy. A voice echoed in his mind. "To free your daughter's spirit, you must make the ultimate sacrifice. Are you willing?" Without hesitation, Obinna nodded. "Yes, I'll do anything for my daughter." The light intensified, and Obinna felt a sharp pain in his chest. He fell to the ground, clutching the stone, as the light consumed him. When Obinna woke up, he found himself lying at the edge of the forest. He felt weak, but his heart was filled with hope. He hurried back to the village, eager to see if Eda had returned. As he approached his home, he saw Kayamaka and Nneka standing outside, their faces filled with joy. Eda stood beside them, alive and smiling. "Papa!" Eda cried, running into his arms. Obinna hugged her tightly, tears of happiness streaming down his face. "You're back. I knew I could bring you back." The villagers gathered around, amazed at the miracle. Mama Nkechi approached Obinna, her eyes filled with wonder. "You have done what no one else could, Obinna," she said. "But remember, the spirits do not grant such gifts without a price." Obinna nodded, knowing the price he had paid. He had given a part of his own life to bring Eda back. Though he felt weaker, he was grateful to have his daughter back. Days turned into weeks, and life in the village slowly returned to normal. Obinna continued to serve the villagers, his strength gradually returning. Eda, Nneka, and Kayamaka were happier than ever, and the family was finally at peace. But one night, as Obinna sat by the fire, he heard a familiar whisper in the wind. "Papa, there is more to the story. The old man at the market still watches. Beware." Obinna's heart sank. He knew that the journey was not over, and that the old man's dark influence still lingered. He would have to confront the old man and uncover the truth behind his mysterious powers. Obinna couldn't shake off Eda's warning. He knew that the old man at the market held secrets that he needed to uncover. The next morning, Obinna gathered his courage and decided to visit the market once more. As he approached the bustling stalls, he noticed the old man sitting in his usual spot, his eyes following Obinna's every move. Determined, Obinna walked up to him. "Old man," Obinna began, his voice firm, "I know you have been watching me. I need to know why. What do you want from me and my family?" The old man smiled, his eyes glinting with an eerie light. "Oh, Obinna, you have proven yourself worthy. But the journey is far from over. There is a greater threat that looms over your village, and you must be the one to stop it." Obinna's heart raced. "What kind of threat?" "The forest hides many secrets," the old man said, his voice low. "There is an ancient evil that stirs within, seeking to destroy everything in its path. Only you, with your pure heart and bravery, can defeat it." Obinna felt a chill run down his spine. "What must I do?" "You must venture deeper into the forest, beyond the shrine where you found the sacred stone," the old man explained. "There, you will find the source of the evil. But beware, the journey will be perilous, and you will face many challenges." Obinna nodded, determination burning in his eyes. "I will do whatever it takes to protect my family and my village." The old man handed Obinna a small, intricately carved wooden pendant. "This will guide you and protect you from harm. Trust in yourself, and you will prevail." With the pendant around his neck, Obinna set off into the forest once more. He walked for days, the trees growing denser and the path more treacherous. Strange creatures lurked in the shadows, and eerie sounds filled the air. One night, as Obinna rested by a small fire, he heard a rustling in the bushes. He quickly stood up, ready to defend himself. To his surprise, a young girl emerged from the darkness. She had bright eyes and wore a simple dress made of leaves. "Who are you?" Obinna asked, his voice cautious. "I am Nneoma," the girl replied. "I was sent by the spirits to help you on your journey." Obinna was skeptical, but something in Nneoma's eyes told him she was trustworthy. "Why would the spirits send you to help me?" "Because you cannot face the evil alone," Nneoma explained. "Together, we stand a better chance. Trust me, Obinna. I know the forest well." Reluctantly, Obinna agreed, and the two continued their journey together. Nneoma proved to be a valuable companion, guiding Obinna through hidden paths and helping him avoid dangerous traps. As they ventured deeper into the forest, they encountered many challenges. They crossed treacherous rivers, climbed steep cliffs, and faced fierce beasts. But with Nneoma's guidance and Obinna's courage, they overcame every obstacle. One day, they reached a clearing where the trees seemed to part, revealing a dark, foreboding cave. Obinna felt a sense of dread wash over him. "This is it," Nneoma said, her voice trembling. "The source of the evil lies within." Obinna took a deep breath, clutching the pendant around his neck. "We must be strong. We can do this." Together, they entered the cave, the darkness swallowing them whole. The air was thick with the stench of decay, and strange whispers echoed around them. As they ventured deeper, they saw a faint, pulsating light in the distance. "That must be it," Obinna whispered, his voice barely audible. They approached the light cautiously and found a massive, ancient tree with gnarled roots and twisted branches. At its base, a dark, swirling vortex pulsed with malevolent energy. "The tree is the source of the evil," Nneoma explained. "We must destroy it to save the village." Obinna felt a surge of determination. "We will do it. For Ada, for my family, and for the village." Just as they were about to strike, a deafening roar echoed through the cave. A monstrous creature emerged from the shadows, its eyes glowing with fury. It was the guardian of the tree, a final obstacle standing between them and victory. Obinna and Nneoma braced themselves as the monstrous creature lunged toward them. Its massive form seemed to fill the cave, and its roar shook the very ground beneath their feet. Obinna raised his pendant, hoping it would protect them as the old man had promised. "Stand firm, Obinna," Nneoma shouted, her voice steady despite the fear in her eyes. "We can defeat it together." The creature's claws slashed through the air, narrowly missing Obinna. He dodged and swung his staff, striking the beast with all his might. Nneoma chanted an ancient incantation, her words filled with power and determination. With each strike and each word, the creature weakened. The light from the pendant grew brighter, and Obinna felt a surge of strength. He and Nneoma fought with everything they had, their movements synchronized and their hearts united in purpose. Finally, with a mighty blow, Obinna struck the creature's heart. It let out a final, anguished roar before collapsing into a heap of darkness that dissolved into the ground. The tree's pulsating light dimmed and then vanished, leaving the cave in eerie silence. "We did it," Obinna panted, his chest heaving. "The evil is gone." Nneoma smiled, her eyes filled with relief. "Yes, the village is safe." As they made their way out of the cave, the forest seemed to come alive with light and life. The darkness that had once plagued it was gone, replaced by the vibrant colors of nature. Birds sang, and the trees swayed gently in the breeze. When Obinna and Nneoma returned to the village, they were greeted with cheers and celebrations. Eda and his family embraced him, their faces filled with pride and gratitude. "You have saved us all, Obinna," Eda said, her eyes shining with admiration. "You are a true hero." Obinna smiled humbly. "I could not have done it without Nneoma and the guidance of the old man. It was a team effort." The village rejoiced, and Obinna's heart swelled with joy and fulfillment. He had faced great challenges, but with courage, determination, and the help of friends, he had triumphed over evil. Moral lessons. Courage and bravery. Obinna's journey teaches us that facing our fears and showing bravery in the face of danger can lead to great achievements. This aligns with Joshua 1 verse 9, which says, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." The power of unity. Obinna and Nneoma's teamwork highlights the importance of working together to overcome challenges. Ecclesiastes 4 verses 9 to 10 states, "Two are better than one, because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up." Trust in guidance. Obinna's trust in the old man's wisdom and Nneoma's guidance shows that seeking and accepting help can lead to success. Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6 reminds us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight." Perseverance and determination. The relentless effort of Obinna and Nneoma to defeat the evil despite numerous obstacles teaches us the value of perseverance. James 1 verse 12 says, "Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because, having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him." The triumph of good over evil. The story's conclusion that good will ultimately prevail over evil is a powerful moral lesson. Romans 12 verse 21 encourages us with, "Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good." Obinna's journey reminds us that with courage, unity, trust, perseverance, and faith, we can overcome any challenge and triumph over adversity.